These 5 habits are not complicated at all, but they will completely change how your kids experience you as their dad. So, oftentimes when we think about mindful habits as fathers, we are thinking of grand gestures. We're thinking of things that are oftentimes complicated for the worldly life that we live with our responsibilities, right? You may think of meditating at 5 o'clock in the morning. You may think of going to a retreat somewhere. And while all of that is on a level of being mindful, we really want to stick it to what are we going to do day to day when we have children in the home? What are we going to do day to day when we got to wake up and go to the gym and go to work, right? We want to make mindfulness a priority, but we also don't want to neglect our day to day responsibilities. So these tiny habits, I feel, are huge when it comes to practicing mindfulness as it relates to you being a dad. So let's get right into number one. And that is going to be at minimum 20 minutes of undistracted, undivided attention with your kids daily. So when I say 20 minutes, I know some of you may think that's nothing, but let's think about it this way. Our children, especially if they are in school, they spend more time at school with their teachers than they do with us, their parents. So my kid, for example, my 13-year-old, he goes to school for umpteen hours a day. Then after that, he's going to get stretched out because he's an athlete. Then after that, he's going to practices 3 to 4 times a week for basketball. Right. So if your children are in school and they have extra activities, you are really not spending that much time with them as you think you are. That's just a fact, right? So now let's go to the second part of this, the time that you do spend with them. And this is where we got to be self-aware. We got to be okay with keeping it real. The time you do spend with them, how much of that time is indeed undistracted, undivided attention that you're paying to them? Think about that. Usually we're probably on our phones, right? They're doing their thing. We're over here doing our thing. Even if we're doing something that we're considering a bonding experience, we're doing it together. It's easy for our minds to be elsewhere. It's easy for me to be next to my daughter or my son cooking, but I'm really thinking about the struggles I'm dealing with at work or the struggles I'm dealing with in my co-parenting relationship. It's so easy to be doing something with our kids and just want to check the phone all the time. So when I say 20 minutes of undivided attention daily minimum, I really mean undistracted. The phone, the screens, your mind, everything is gone. You are solely there being present for the moment that you're having with your children. The most important part about this is this 20 minutes minimum should be something that your children actually enjoy doing. It should be something that they really are interested in. So, for example, my son and I, we both love to read. So we'll go to Barnes and Noble and we'll read for 20, 30, 45 minutes together. We'll read at home together. He loves to write short stories, so we'll block out time where he's working on his writing, I'm writing my newsletter, and we're doing things that not only he thoroughly enjoys, but we both enjoy them. And one thing about this 20 minutes of undivided attention I want to tell you is intuitively, this is a fact that if you are not spending undivided attention, you're not giving your undivided attention to your children, when they grow up, they are going to feel like they are not worth anything because they didn't get that attention they needed from us. They're going to feel like they have a lack of self-worth. And if they have a lack of self-worth, that is now going to change who they seek out in a partner. It's not going to change their ability to feel confident that they can achieve things in this world on their own. So it really starts with the amount of attention that we are giving them at home. So number one is, and remember, I said 20 minutes minimum. If you can make it an hour, that's even better. But just every day, at least 20 minutes, do something with your kids that you know they enjoy, but you yourself are not distracted while you're doing that bonding experience. Phones away, everything away. No screens, just you, your mind, and presence, and your kid during that time frame. All right. So the next thing is going to be phone-free walks. So this is something that is beneficial even if you are not doing it with your kids. It's beneficial for you as an individual. But an example of this is with your kids. My daughter is 3, and we often take walks. And sometimes when I'm on my walks, I may bring my phone with me, and I choose not to when I'm by myself, which is odd, right? But when I'm with my daughter, I remember we went on a walk. I had my phone with me, and I'm sure at some point during the walk, I might have been on my phone looking at emails or work or social media or something. And then we went on another walk the next day, and my daughter literally said to me on our walk, "Daddy, look at this flower. The same flower was here yesterday. Do you remember this?" Ask me if I remembered seeing that flower. Absolutely not. And the point I'm trying to make is if I was not distracted on our walk together, I would have been able to spot the same flower that she was talking about. Kids, they're so observant because they're really in the present moment, right? And even if she wasn't there with me and I'm walking on my own, it really feels good to see your surroundings and to acknowledge the beauty that you're seeing in front of you. But you're missing all of that if you are bringing your device with you when you're on these walks. So that's mindful habit number 2 you can do is take walks with your children. I'm a huge believer of walking hills every and anything. And if you have to do it in the neighborhood, then that's fine. But if you can do it somewhere where there's a lot of greenery, there's a lot of just nature happening outside, that's even better. But wherever you're walking with your kids, just kind of leave the phone at home. If you feel like for safety reasons you want to bring the phone with you, maybe put it on airplane mode and just leave it in your pocket and just try not to even acknowledge the fact that the phone is in your pocket. Number 3, and this is important when it comes to the back and forth communication with your children, is intentional breathing. I always talk about the importance of connecting with your breath as a dad because oftentimes we are painted as the ones that we lose our patience really quick. We snap really quick. And if we tend to connect with our breath in high intensity parenting moments, we are now giving ourselves the opportunity to relax. And I'm not saying you need to bust out the meditation cushion in the middle of an intense conversation with your child and meditate for 5 minutes. What I'm saying is take one deep breath, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, and then deliver your response. It may not change the context, it may not change the verbiage of what's coming out of your mouth, but it will have an effect on the tone that you're using. It will have an effect on how your child is receiving uh, the words you're expressing during a back and forth. So just intentional breathing. It does not have to be a 5 minute ordeal. Breathe in for 4. You could even hold for 4 and breathe out for 4. And then go ahead and say what's on your mind. Okay. The fourth thing is going to be some sort of like weekly ritual that you do device free. Now, that for me and my kids, that's usually dinner time. We make sure that when they're with me and we're eating dinner at the table, or even if we're at a restaurant, no devices. I try to put my phone away. My son, I try to tell him to put his Apple Watch or whatever away. My daughter is not having her tablet at the table, right? So we do device free family dinners with us 3. And something else, maybe, my daughter, we love to cook together. She loves to stand on a stool and help me cook and help me pour in the ingredients. And, I would feel like I'm doing her a disservice if we're doing this experience together and I'm just on my phone the whole time, right? So that's another thing you can do. Just think of different things that fits your family dynamic, right? Whether it be a family dinner, cooking, a game night, even if you're watching a show on TV. How many times my son has called me out for this before. Like we'll be watching a show together. And he'll look at me, he'll be like, "You're not even paying attention." And that doesn't feel good. You know, that does not feel good because he's absolutely right. So even if you're watching TV together, put the phone away, right? And be tuned in to the experience of spending time, regardless of how the time is being spent. And the last one I'm going to touch on is gratitude journaling. I mean, uh, you know, by this point, if you are a fan of this channel, I'm going to tell you to journal almost every single talk. And gratitude journaling is great because this is not something you have to like sit and scratch your mind about. You know, I'm not telling you to ask, what did my dad not give to me that I'm not giving to my kids? We're not even there right now. Right now we're just talking about, why am I thankful to have this responsibility of being this human's father, right? Like, why am I so grateful to have this opportunity? What am I so grateful about, when it comes to being my kids' fathers? You know, I I oftentimes ask myself this question and I write it down even on tough days because you may have a tough day at work, you may have a tough day with the kids, and you might forget all the great reasons why you are just so thankful to be their dad, right? For me, a lot of the times when I do this, I think about both of my kids together. I think about them individually. A lot of the times for my son, I'm just grateful that he has been with me through all our ups and downs with custody battles. And I'm just grateful that he sees my resilience. And now when I flip it on to him, I see just how much adversity and how resilient he is in the whatever ups and downs, teenagers go through as a 13-year-old. And I've been seeing him display overcoming adversity since he was a toddler, you know? So I'm grateful that I'm able to lead and show him how to be resilient. With my daughter, I'm very grateful that she looks at me and she tells me, "Dad, I love you," all the time without me even asking her to say it or without me even saying, "I love you," and she's saying it back to me. She will just randomly look at me and say, "I love you." Those moments warm my heart. So I journal about those. And you'll be surprised how journaling about gratitude will just elevate every part of your life, not just you being a dad, right? So these are things for you to put in practice on a day to day basis when it comes to your role as dad. These are mindful habits that will ensure that you're being present. Does not ensure you're being perfect. It ensures that you are being present. So, quick recap. Number one, we have 20 minutes of undistracted time, preferably doing something that they are enthused and excited about. Number two, we have phone free walks. Go ahead and take that walk outside with them. Leave the device at home if you got to bring it. Put it in your pocket and put it on airplane mode. Number three is intentional breathing. Go ahead. The next time you want to yell or snap, just try to hold your breath. Breathe in for 4 seconds and then breathe out for 4 more seconds and see how it changes how you react. See how it changes that. The other number four was do some sort of ritual, some sort of weekly ritual, but make sure there's no screens, there's no devices involved as far as like when you're in the experience. And then the last one is gratitude journal. Thank you for listening to this talk. I appreciate the growth of the YouTube channel. It's trekking along, and every single subscriber that I get, I'm just so thankful. As always, you can check the links in the description for my newsletter. If you want a deeper dive of this topic, check out the podcast. If you're more into audio talking and you want just a little deeper dive, check out the podcast on this topic as well. Link is in the description. And check out the link for my 365 Dad journal that has a ton of prompts that you can write for 5 minutes daily that'll help you enhance your level of mindfulness as a father. All of those links are in the description. And man, I am just so happy to be able to speak on these things and to help fathers break generational cycles. Until next time.